It was a big party at Stadium of Fire on the 4th of July.
It's so worth it in the end.
And one of the dancers is 17-year-old Mackenzie Harvey.
The energy and the adrenaline it's all so fun. It's good. It's a good time.
Mackenzie and some of her fellow dancers are part of Intensity Dance Team here in Heber City. They practiced at the studio for weeks and then at the stadium for long hours in the days leading up to the event. So when something crazy happened to Mackenzie, she knew the show still had to go on.
I was so shocked that I would have never known that would have happened to me. So crazy.
Let me show you what happened. Here's Mackenzie standing in formation when fireworks went off.
It happened so fast. I remember seeing the fireworks going into the crowd in different places, and it came right behind me, so I wasn't expecting it at all. I was just in shock, like it hurt, like it sent a shock through my body.
Fireworks hit Mackenzie, leaving her with burns on her arm and her leg and a well on her back too. But she still had a routine to perform.
I was just thinking, oh, there's no way I put in all that work and I'm not gonna go perform it. I was so excited and pumped.
Her dance studio director, Carissa Mullen, was with Mackenzie helping her get taken care of.
So we go to the EMT, she gets checked out, and they're trying to do their job, but she's like, yeah, can we make this quick? I need to perform. And I said, yeah, can we just wrap it up? And then if we're still in pain, we'll come right back. We just need a quick wrap up and then we'll go.
She got bandaged up and went back to doing what she loves.
And we went back out and she got in position and she nailed it. And she did a fantastic job on her routine.
Mackenzie tells me she's still processing everything and is just happy to be okay, and also proud of herself for going back to dance.
The fact that I had that stamina and endurance to keep going, and I'm glad that I'm strong enough to do that.
Michael Duggar showed us the view from his home near the top of Berkmont Mountain. Normally, he can see Table Rock Mountain and Lake James, but today smoke surrounds his home, and firefighters are stationed nearby with hoses and water for protection.
They've done a great job. They come in here and told me that they were here for us on the mountain to make sure nobody lost their homes or anything.
Firefighters from Salem shared these photos of the fire overnight. They got the call after viewers say they could see someone shooting fireworks on the mountainside for nearly an hour last night. The North Carolina Forest Service is setting back burns in an effort to contain the fire that quickly grew in size today. They've been able to use dozers in some areas, but in others, hand crews are cutting lines on the mountainside with the heat index in the triple digits.
The heat is terrible on us. Thank God that the community has come around and helped us with hydration and food.
Firework debris is littered throughout this Northwest Side alley, a 4th of July family tradition turned tragic when fireworks killed 34-year-old Earl Laurie, a father of 2 young children with a third on the way.
He went light it up, but he went down like this, straight to the fire. But then when he lighted up, he take too long to back up, and the thing broke and hit him right in the face.
Laurie died instantly in front of his family. His mother tells us he was a great son who always helped her. Firework remnants were not just in the alley, but in nearby streets in the Belmont Gardens neighborhood. Residents say several people were setting fireworks off all night.
It's a terrible tragedy, and I feel so sorry for the people around and his family, but I think that there's so many people doing it. You're doing it over and over again. There's bound to be an accident. They're explosives.
For the Chicago Fire Department, it was a busy night all over the city. 2 homes went up in flames in Inglewood, sparked by fireworks. In addition, multiple garages, garbage cans, porches, and other kinds of property were damaged.
Citywide, there was an overwhelming response to the fireworks in Chicago. I think at the minimum we have 13 confirmed fireworks-related fires, and that's just a conservative estimate at this point. That number will increase over time as the reporting comes in.
CFD says it was the most fires caused by fireworks in at least 20 years. Fortunately, no one was severely injured in the fires. And though fireworks are illegal in Chicago, they are easily accessible over state lines.
Flames and heavy smoke seen pouring out of a Levittown home early Thursday morning on the 4th of July. Detectives say they quickly determined it was caused by a firework. Neighbor Roberta Quintana took the video. He says it was around 8:30 in the morning.
We heard the firecrackers going on early. Apparently, they were eager to celebrate the 4th of July.
Police allege 33-year-old Karyamjeet Singh, who rents the first-floor apartment of the Red Maple Drive North home, gave his 11-year-old son a firework and told him to ignite it. Detectives say the firework then malfunctioned and caused a detached shed to go up in flames. Then it spread to the family's home.
It's a big error in judgment. Parents should be really taking care of their family and really making sure they don't do the wrong thing.
Singh was seen leaving arraignment court Friday afternoon. He is facing a long list of charges, including arson, reckless endangerment, and endangering the welfare of a child. Neighbors say the father should have known better.
There's a time and a place for everything.
Neighbors tell us that the fire also displaced a single mother and her daughter who rented the apartment on the 2nd floor. The fire also spread to the home next door, which is where Maya Ramos lives with her family.
I'm just grateful that I wasn't home and that no one was hurt.
She says she was at a friend's home when the fire broke out, and her parents are away on vacation.
I got a text from my neighbor that there was a huge fire and that our house had been melted from it.
Now stuck cleaning up more than just firework remnants, but debris from 2 house fires. From Levittown, Long Island, John Diaz, CBS 2 News.
The young man who I spoke with is currently in Gainesville as doctors are trying to save his hand. Firefighters say even though it's after July 4th, people are still going to be lighting those fireworks off, and they have simple warnings for people who are going to do so.
It was crazy because I seen it on the news the other day about you guys sharing about the safety of fireworks, and it's so crazy, a blink of an eye, it happened to me.
I'm talking with Zion Thomas from a hospital bed in Gainesville.
So in a way, you're trying to help others.
Yes, sir.
The picture is far too graphic for TV, so we blurred it, but Zion Thomas says a firework did this to his hand.
Makes me feel like I need to pay attention more with things like that, but I'm thinking, hey, just like anybody else thinking it's a firework, going to be okay. And turns out I wasn't. I lost my hand almost, basically. I lost my front teeth. It's chipped. My wrist is broken. My other hand, my palm is fractured. So it's pretty serious when it comes down to fireworks.
Thomas tells me the firework may have been expired. The Jacksonville Fire Department says that's not information they're able to confirm. But Captain Eric Proswimmer says they did respond to his home as well as others.
We definitely had calls. I know there was some serious calls where people took serious injuries as a result of fireworks.
According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, in 2023, 9,700 people went to the hospital after being injured by fireworks. 35% of them suffered injuries on their hands. Tragically, 8 people died last year from injuries related to fireworks. Captain Proswimmer says people lighting off their leftover fireworks should be extra careful and definitely don't hold them in your hand.
Tell me something that will stop me right there.
It's going to happen to you. You can say it. That it's not, it's going to happen to you.
Look, man, I know people are going to be shooting off fireworks tonight. If you could have them hear one thing before they do anything tonight, what would you tell them?
Be safe. Be safe. Be on the lookout. check your fireworks.
Reporting for Channel 4, Jonas the local station.
It changed your life in literally less than a second.
Being one of the most dangerous holidays, the 4th of July always comes with injuries. But a few years ago, for Mark McCormick, it changed his life forever.
I was being dumb and like just playing with fireworks and shooting off mortar shells and doing things like that and holding the cannon, and the cannon had bent, and it bent, I didn't notice, and it went off in my hand.
McCormick says his friend rushed him to the hospital where he began fighting for his life.
I immediately got a blood transfusion because I had lost so much blood, and then after that I had to wait 10.5 hours for surgery.
McCormick says when he woke up, he was just expecting some cuts and bruises.
Yeah, that's definitely a benefit. I had high hopes because the doctor never really talked to me. They had a gigantic cast on my hand and I could still feel it. And whenever they took the cast off, it broke my heart.
Doctors had to amputate his hand and about 14 inches of his arm. But he says the hardest part was still yet to come.
I was told by the doctors I was supposed to take 6 months off of work, and I'm supporting a whole household, everything. I owned a home, everything. I lost everything because of it. And now my family's separated.
McCormick says he was denied disability, so he had no choice but to keep working. And after refusing to ever give up, he relearned how to do everything in life most would find impossible. Like work his construction job and fix his own cars when they break down. Now, McCormick says he qualifies for a robotic hand since all of his muscles and nerves still work, but he doesn't know how he'll ever be able to afford to get a normal life back.
Like, I've tried to find the cheapest, even that is $20,000. So, but like a preferable one or a good one, it'd be like 50 or something like that.
But McCormick says above all else, his biggest hope is that his story will remind others of the importance of safety around fireworks.
Just be careful. Don't play around and think it's just a game. Because just like I said, at any given moment, it could change.
Is it an emu? Newtown Township residents couldn't believe their eyes. A 6-foot emu strolling down Atkinson Lane in the pouring rain. Owen Lentz saw it the night of July 4th.
I was scared because it kept opening its mouth and it had really long, talons or claws on its feet.
Neighbors tried to corral it. By the time police arrived, the flightless bird had retreated into the woods.
I think it's crazy, and I think it's still out in those woods out there.
The emu originally escaped from this farm called Earth's Best Organics about a mile away, where they raise emus for their eggs. Rosie Alfaro is the emu's owner.
She was all the way in the back. We already secured her enclosure. She busted through the fence. She got so spooked out from the fireworks.
But Alfaro was determined to get her emu back. She and her employees found the bird in the woods where it was last spotted, but catching it wasn't easy. The hunt turned into a full-out chase. They repeatedly tried to lasso the emu, but the bird simply ran away. Minutes later, success. CBS News Philadelphia was the only station there as employees hauled the 150-pound bird out of the woods and into this trailer. Back at the farm, the bird was carried to its enclosure. Alfaro says she's going to take the emu to a vet to check for a possible leg injury. It was the end of a wild day. And how do you feel now?
Much better. One less thing to worry about.
Alfaro is taking steps so this doesn't happen again. She says she's planning to bring her emu from its outdoor enclosure to an indoor enclosure the next time there are fireworks so the animal doesn't get spooked. In Newtown Township, Madeline Wright, CBS News, Philadelphia.
I've cleaned it up some, but some of the wall and ceiling collapsed in here.
It's the aftermath of something Anthony Fox could never have predicted.
We counted a lot of blessings that day. Counted a lot of blessings that day.
Fox and his fiancée Nicole were hiking with their dog in Estes Park on the 4th of July when they got a call.
All we could hear is Westminster Department, fire, house is on fire.
Their home of 5 years, charred from the flames.
We have roof and wall sections collapsing, no front door frame because they had to kick that through to get in to look for survivors.
Flames, they say, were caused by their neighbor setting off fireworks in between both of their homes.
He could have killed us, he could have killed our pets, and we lost our home because of some reckless kid.
The couple says they almost lost their cat, Apollo, who was trapped inside the home when the fire started. But one deputy sheriff was able to get him out.
Now we're out of a home, but at least we have our family, which is what's important.
Westminster police shared this mugshot of Gabriel S.B. Ocean, Fox's neighbor, who was arrested at the scene and charged with first-degree arson. He was later released.
This gentleman is charged with arson and is at home sleeping in his bed while we're trying to gather the remnants of our lives that he destroyed, sleeping out of a hotel room.
The couple is now crowdfunding to help get them into a new home soon.
Like, seriously, if you don't know how to control a fire, don't start one. You know what I mean? You could cost someone their home and potentially cost someone their life.
I was one of those horror stories that I was always told about, like, hey, stay away from the fireworks, you're gonna blow your hand off. Quite literally, that exactly happened.
But Riley Baumgartner's story is different. He was at a family friend's 4th of July event where fireworks were being set off. Riley says someone there was intoxicated and threw a sparkler bomb.
When I seen them like light it and just toss it a few feet in front of them, I was instantaneously scared. I was like, as soon as this thing goes off, they're blind or dead.
But the scariest part, 2 young children ran toward it, and Riley jumped into action and grabbed the lit firework.
I went to go throw it, and as soon as I got about here, boom. And I was like, oh, whoa. And I looked down, and there was just nothing there.
Medics rushed Riley to Harborview Medical Center. Surgeons had to amputate his damaged right hand. He also suffered burns on his body.
I ran out there and I just put myself in front of it because I'd rather it be me than anybody else.
After 5 days, Riley is now out of the hospital and just beginning his recovery.
Yeah, I know.
And the realization that his life is changed forever.
I just gotta do this at least 3 times a day, every day for 30 minutes.
Doctors say he can't work for 2 months.
I called my job. I'm a lifeguard. I'm not going to be able to lifeguard anymore. I can't give someone CPR without a hand. I can't swim good without a hand.
The accident taking a physical and emotional toll.
I want to be able to take care of myself. I want to be able to stand up and not hurt. I want to be able to tie my pants and tie my shoes.
But there's one thing getting him through the pain.
Knowing that the kids are okay is really the only thing that's keeping me going.
The West Tex Connect Fireworks Spectacular last night was something many Abilenians were looking forward to, but no one expected to go up in flames. K-Texas reporter Copeland Welch spoke to one attendee that saw it all.
It kind of turned into this. Some residual fireworks going off, and then the fire in the back.
That was Gabby Murphy, one of the many attendees at the West Tex Fireworks Spectacular on Wednesday night. Murphy told us she took her family to the show to enjoy fireworks, but instead, they had a scary experience.
They just kept going up and up until you couldn't see them, and then they started kind of falling down. And I was like, let's hope they're not towards us or, anything like that.
Murphy says the chaos continued after the drone show. She told us when the fireworks started, it was obvious things were not going as planned.
You can tell right off the bat that they were having a malfunction. Things were popping off super close to the ground. And then all of a sudden you can see red. And I was like, something is on fire. They got it put out. They were like, okay, they continued. Another fire started and it kind of grew pretty big, and they just kind of was like, ending the show slowly.
Drones falling from the sky is something no one wants to see. But Murphy says her greatest concern was the safety of her kids.
Honestly, the biggest thing we told our kids was if you hear or see one hit the ground, pretty much get under the truck, because you just don't know what's going to happen after that. That's a lot of drones to be falling out of the sky.
While there are many people on social media that are angry with West Tex Connect and the outcome of the show, Murphy says she has a different perspective and encourages others to do the same.
I view everything from outside the box is what I would call it, and I was like, well, we can't complain too much. You know, they tried their best to put on a show. They spent lots of money, lots of time, and try not to be so angry. Like, don't just look at it from your point of view, look at it kind of from everybody's point of view.
Murphy says she hopes West Tex Connect will consider a new and safer location for the fireworks spectacular in the future.
At a stadium, everything was just so packed that if something worse were to happen, it would be really hard to move that amount of people quickly and safely.
Copeland Welch, KTexas News.
West Tex Connect gave the following statement in part. Safety is our top priority with the West Tex Connect Fireworks Spectacular. The fire that occurred at the event this year was a brush fire that was contained by the Abilene Fire Department. There were no injuries or evacuations needed.